Welcome to the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. This is your time of the day to learn a little bit about the law while you enjoy your lunch. Conservative civil rights groups just won a big settlement from the University of California at Berkeley. UC-Berkeley is where the college student-led free speech movement kicked off in the 1960s. Fast forward to recent years, conservative groups have claimed that UC-Berkeley discriminates against conservative speakers by charging high security fees, relegating them to inconvenient, out-of-the-way lecture halls, disallowing events after a certain time in the afternoon, and giving the heckler's veto to liberal organizations who protest, disturb, and riot to thwart the free speech rights of conservatives. You may recall in early 2017, conservative speaker Milo Yiannopoulos was scheduled to appear, but liberal groups, including Antifa, rioted, set fires, caused $100,000 in property damage, threw fireworks, attacked members of the crowd, and threw rocks at the police in an attempt to stop the Yiannopoulos event. So the university canceled the event due to security concerns. This is how the heckler's veto works. It's employed by one group to deny the free speech rights to another group. Because the event host, in this case the university, doesn't want to riot, doesn't want to pay large amounts for security, they give in to the heckler's veto and cancel the event. Later in the year, conservative groups sponsored Free Speech Week at UC-Berkeley. They again invited Milo Yiannopoulos, and this time conservative firebrand Ann Coulter. Anticipating riots by liberal groups, the university imposed various conditions on the organizers of the event, the student groups that were organizing the events. High security fees, a remote location. Confronted with the high security fees the student groups just couldn't afford, and not wanting the event to be in what they believed was an obscure location on campus at an obscure time, they canceled the event. The UC-Berkeley College Republicans, the Young Americans Foundation, the student groups that were sponsoring the Free Speech Week, then sued the university. Those conservative groups alleged in their complaint that UC-Berkeley and its high-ranking officials, including former Obama Cabinet Secretary Janet Napolitano, violated their rights under the First Amendment, the Due Process Clause, and the Equal Protection Clause of the U.S. Constitution by imposing these conditions. The university, of course, denies it violated the constitutional rights of these conservative organizations and their student members. However, it just entered into a settlement agreement with them. Now, according to the terms of the settlement agreement, first, the university agrees to pay $70,000 to the conservative student groups to compensate them for attorney's fees incurred in the litigation. We attorneys like that. The first thing we do is pay the lawyers, right? Yet that shows the fact that the university is paying the lawyers' fees of the conservative student groups shows it's clearly a win for the conservative groups. Also, the university must rescind the unconstitutional high-profile speaker policy, must rescind the viewpoint discriminatory security fee policy. For example, Berkeley administrators charged conservative student groups $20,000 for security for Ben Shapiro, a conservative speaker, an amount 3 times greater than the fee charged to left-wing students host groups that hosted liberal Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. So there is now going to be a fee schedule that treats all student groups equally. And fourth, according to the settlement agreement, the university will abolish the heckler's veto. So protesters will no longer be able to shut down conservative-hosted free speech events. Young America's Foundation, the private organization that funded the lawsuit, has called the settlement a landmark victory for free expression. That means the university can no longer wantonly treat conservative students as second-class members of its community. Now, we'll see how these policies are implemented as the settlement agreement is enforced and monitored by the conservative student groups. If you have any questions about the free speech rights of your student organization on a Pennsylvania campus of a college or university, feel free to give us a call at Scaringi Law at 717-657-7770. That's about all the time we have today for the Scaringi Law Lunch Break. I hope you learned something about the law. Thanks for listening and enjoy your lunch.